Cars have been revolutionized over the years with countless inventions, but which innovations ultimately faded into history? From the hand-crank starters that demanded strength to the nostalgic cassette players, here are 10 car inventions that once defined the automotive experience but are now mere memories of the past. In the early days of cars, drivers had to use a hand-crank starter to get engines running. This meant physically turning a crank to spark the engine, a task that required both strength and skill. Though hand cranking was valued at the time for its straightforward design and dependability, it came with risks, as a sudden backward spin of the crank could cause serious injuries. In 1911, Charles Kettering's invention of the electric starter changed the car industry by allowing drivers to start engines with a simple button press or key turn. This new technology made starting a car easier and safer, gaining popularity for its convenience and eliminating the need for physical effort. Electric starters quickly became the standard, and by the 1920s, every vehicle was equipped with them, pushing hand-crank starters out of use. The reliability and ease of electric starters made them essential, and they remain a basic feature in cars today. With the advent of electric starters simplifying engine ignition, drivers soon turned their attention to another crucial aspect of vehicle operation: manual chokes. These were essential tools for starting cars with carbureted engines in cold weather. These devices manage the air-fuel mixture by adjusting airflow to the carburetor, helping the engine get the right amount of fuel to start and run smoothly. Drivers enjoyed the control manual chokes offered, as they could enrich the fuel mixture with a pull of a lever or knob inside the car, making cold starts easier. This feature was especially valuable in older vehicles that struggled to start in low temperatures. As technology progressed, though, manual chokes gradually disappeared. Fuel injection systems, introduced during the 1980s and 1990s, revolutionized engine management by automatically adjusting the air-fuel mixture. These systems provided more precise control and improved efficiency, making engines easier to start and run in all conditions. With these advancements, manual chokes became unnecessary and were eventually phased out as vehicles evolved to rely on more modern and reliable fuel management methods. The evolution of vehicle features is evident in the shift from manual chokes, which aided cold starts, to the practicality of running boards. Running boards were a handy feature on early cars, giving passengers an easy way to get in and out of tall vehicles. Positioned along the sides of the car, these boards extended outward to serve as a convenient step. Many people appreciated running boards for their practical use and stylish appearance. They were especially helpful for women in long dresses and children, as climbing into higher cars could be challenging. Passengers could also use running boards as a place to stand or sit when the car was parked. As cars became more modern, running boards started to disappear. In the 1930s, vehicle designs were lowered closer to the ground, reducing the need for an extra step. This shift was supported by the introduction of built-in steps and retractable side steps. Streamlined, aerodynamic designs in newer cars made running boards less practical, and they gradually vanished from car styles altogether. The decline of running boards marked a significant change in automotive design, paving the way for the rise of bench seats. These seats were a defining feature of classic cars, featuring a single, continuous seat without individual sections. This design offered more space, allowing 3 people to sit comfortably in the front and 3 in the back, which made car rides feel more social and brought passengers closer together. Families and friends enjoyed the bench seat's cozy, open feel, creating a connected experience that made travel more enjoyable. The flat design also made it easy for people to slide across the seat, adding convenience for both drivers and passengers. Over time, car designs changed, and bench seats started to fade as bucket seats gained popularity. These bucket seats provided greater personal comfort, with adjustable features that offered ergonomic support. They also improved safety by better accommodating seatbelts and airbags, which protected drivers and passengers more effectively. This shift towards individual seating and added safety has ultimately made bucket seats the standard choice in modern vehicles. With the decline of bench seats marking a significant shift in automotive design, cars began to evolve, introducing features like vent windows, also called wing windows, were small triangular windows near the front of cars. First appearing in the 1930s, they quickly became popular for allowing fresh air into the car without opening the main windows. This extra airflow was especially helpful on hot days, as the vent windows could be angled to direct a breeze, cooling down the interior at a time when air conditioning was rare. Vent windows also helped reduce fogging by improving airflow, making driving more comfortable and safer. Over time, car designs changed as air conditioning became more common in the 1960s and 1970s. Engineers focused on creating better climate control systems and sealed cabins, which made vent windows less useful. Modern vehicles now rely on these advanced systems to regulate the interior temperature, so vent windows are no longer a feature, though they once provided simple, effective cooling and ventilation for drivers. The evolution of automotive design continued with new trends, including the bold and iconic tail fins that defined a generation. Tail fins were a popular car design feature in the 1950s and 1960s, with Cadillac introducing the look in 1948. Inspired by the twin rudders of the P-38 Lightning fighter plane, these upward extensions at the rear of cars gave vehicles a sleek, futuristic feel that appealed to the excitement of the jet age and the space race. Drivers loved the unique style, especially on cars like the 1959 Cadillac Eldorado, famous for its bold, towering fins. Tail fins symbolized American automotive innovation and luxury. But by the early 1960s, tastes started shifting. People preferred practical, fuel-efficient cars, and the extravagant tail fins didn't align with that vision. Automakers responded by adopting simpler, more streamlined designs, gradually steering away from the large tail fin style. By the mid-1960s, the distinctive fins had mostly disappeared from new car models as the industry embraced a more subdued aesthetic. With changing automotive preferences, the industry shifted from bold tail fins to a more practical and efficient design approach. Cassette players transformed in-car entertainment by making it easy for drivers and passengers to enjoy music while traveling. Launched in the late 1960s, cassette players quickly gained popularity through the 1970s and 1980s, replacing bulky 8-track tapes with more compact and convenient cassette tapes. These tapes allowed users to bring along their favorite music, creating a personalized experience for long drives. Cassette players were portable and simple to use, enabling drivers to change tapes or create custom mixtapes with ease. In the 1980s, auto-reverse technology allowed tapes to play continuously without needing to be flipped, which added to their appeal. But with the arrival of CDs in the late 1980s and early 1990s, cassette players started to decline as CDs provided clearer sound and greater durability. By the early 2000s, digital music formats and MP3 players took over, and today's cars feature advanced audio systems, with Bluetooth and streaming making cassette players a nostalgic memory. The evolution of in-car features like cassette players paved the way for changing standards, including the gradual removal of ashtrays and cigarette lighters. Cars from the 1950s through the 1990s included ashtrays and cigarette lighters as standard features. Since smoking was common, ashtrays were built into car doors and dashboards, making it easy for drivers and passengers to use them. Cigarette lighters served a dual purpose, lighting cigarettes and providing power outlets. By the 1990s, as people became more aware of the health risks of smoking, attitudes started changing and smoking rates began to fall. Anti-smoking campaigns and stricter regulations further encouraged a move away from smoking. As a result, car manufacturers began removing ashtrays and lighters from their designs by the early 2000s, replacing them with adaptable storage compartments and power outlets designed for charging electronic devices. Today, modern cars reflect a shift towards smoke-free environments equipped with USB ports and wireless charging stations to meet the needs of a connected world and support growing electronic device use. The shift towards modern car designs not only eliminated ashtrays but also ushered in critical safety advancements like collapsible steering columns. Early cars had rigid steering columns that did not collapse or absorb impact during a crash, creating a significant safety hazard for drivers. In a frontal collision, this unyielding design could cause the steering column to push directly into the driver, resulting in serious injuries. In 1934, the first collapsible steering column was developed, designed to absorb impact by collapsing or retracting upon collision, thereby reducing the force reaching the driver. This innovation was not widely adopted until the 1960s, when car makers began focusing more on driver safety. General Motors became the first major manufacturer to install collapsible steering columns in 1967, soon followed by Chrysler and Ford. This safety feature quickly gained popularity across the auto industry as the need to protect drivers during crashes became more widely recognized. Collapsible steering columns significantly lowered the risk of injury, marking a major advancement in automotive safety and setting new standards that prioritized driver protection. The evolution of automotive design embraced safety advancements, marking a shift from decorative features like hood ornaments to functional innovations. Hood ornaments, also called mascots, were decorative emblems or figures placed on the front of cars. These ornaments became popular in the early 1900s, bringing a touch of style and personality to each vehicle. Many of these pieces showed animals, mythological figures, or company logos, giving each car a unique look. A well-known example is the Spirit of Ecstasy on Rolls-Royce cars, introduced in 1911. Originally, hood ornaments served as radiator caps, but as cars changed over time, radiator caps were moved under the hood, and ornaments became decorative only. In the late 1900s, these hood pieces began to disappear due to safety concerns, as their shape and placement could cause injury in pedestrian collisions. To address these concerns, car makers gradually shifted to sleeker, more aerodynamic designs, and by the 1990s, most new cars no longer featured noticeable hood ornaments. These 10 car inventions remind us how innovation can shape the automotive world, even if some ideas fade away over time. Which of these inventions do you think could make a comeback? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating content.